Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Protomario, and a lot of people have asked me to do a theory on Red and Gold's father. Um, this is a really tough one, guys, because there are other games where the protagonist doesn't have a father. Pokemon Coliseum, the dude's background and family isn't really known. And in fact, in almost every game, the protagonist's family isn't very well known. He doesn't have any brothers, sisters, children, cousins, relatives, except for his mother, or his father, in the case of Generation 3. So, onward to the theory, shall we? Red and Gold, they both don't have their father, and it is not made mention where your father is ever. Most of us have played through Pokemon Red, Fire Red, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Silver, Gold, Crystal, Yellow, whatever your flavor is. A lot of us have asked the question, where's your father? And there's one thing I noticed when I was in Lavender Town. At the bottom of Lavender Town, there's a kid who asks you, do you believe in ghosts? If you tell him no, you are given the response, I guess that white hand on your shoulder is just my imagination. Which is curious, because, yeah, apparently maybe that kid was seeing a ghost. But now, in this world, do only Pokemon ghosts exist? And are they the missing no type ghost? Are they the human ghost? Or are they like Gengar, Haunter, and Ghastly? And when a Pokemon dies, does it become a Ghastly, or does it become a Haunter or a Gengar? And do Haunter and Gengar and Ghastly die? It's a whole nother bucket of worms, so let's stay on track here. There's a couple things made mention in Pokemon that are related to death. And if you haven't seen my Can Pokemon Die theory investigated, I suggest you check that out. There's a few things mentioned. Lieutenant Surge mentions that he uses Pokemon against humans in a war. And if he didn't have his Pokemon to zap the enemies into paralysis, he would have been in trouble. Okay, so obviously people died in the war. Maybe they didn't, I don't know. Maybe they just got shocked a lot and went into a coma like Ash. Or died like Ash. I'm not getting into that, though. So, staying on point again. Your father is missing. Your mother never tells you about your father. She just wants you to always take a rest. So she's always trying to get your mind off your father. Again, what a jerk. She sends you shoes and gold, silver, and crystal. She saves your money and buys stuff for you, always trying to get your mind off of talking to her about your father. I would say that your father must have been killed in some way, shape, or form, because it's never made mention where your father is, what he did, if he was a Pokemon trainer or not. And, of course, you being a Pokemon trainer yourself, you should probably know that, what your father used to do. So, you know, again, it's not really made mention where the people's graves are in the game. You never see people's graves. You only see Pokemon graves. So, very weird, again. But I'm going to try and stay on track here. So, what if the ghost that you continuously see without being able to identify is actually your father? And when you get up to the final floor, the ghost that you happen to encounter just happens to be the mother of Cubone. And that's when your father disappears, because you have the Silph Scope now. Because, you know, your father can't be around because you can't see him without the Silph Scope. It has been somewhat theorized, and I don't know if it's 100% proven, but I do believe that the developers were considering putting in an extra final boss at the top of the Lavender Tower named White Hand. And White Hand would have 3 Pokemon, and you just do battle with him. And it was kind of a ghost human. a human ghost, if you will. But I do believe they removed it due to the fact that this is a fucking child's game and you don't want children thinking that they can die. Okay, that's probably a bad idea. You're going to have a lot of bad press over one small thing. Kill a game. So, what if that ghost was your father and your father was haunting you the whole time? So, that's my theory. I believe your father fought in the war because it would make him about as old as Lieutenant Surge. And Lieutenant Surge fought in the war because he's freaking psycho. He still wears his camo, has flat top, and dog tags on, even though he's not in the war. So maybe Lieutenant Surge killed your father. I don't know, that's a crazy theory, but there's no proof to support that. It's just, the fact is, I think your father is the ghost. In Pokemon Red, Silver, Gold, Crystal, whatever your flavor is, first 2 generations. You are fatherless, and your father was killed during the Great War of Pokemons. And, yeah, there you go. So, if you guys have a speculation on this, please leave it in the comment section below. What is that hand on Red's shoulder that child is discussing? Whatever happened to the white hand at the top of the tower? Where are the graves for everyone in the Pokemon game? And if Pokemon do die, do they turn into Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar? Or do Gengar, Haunter, and Ghastly die? And what happens to them then? So, a lot of questions to be raised, a lot of theories that can branch off just from this theory. Your dad's dead, you were adopted, whatever you want to believe. I'm Protomario, and I'm signing out. Thanks for watching.